Welcome to this week's episode of the Personal Upgrade Journey, where we like to explore the A to Z of our personal upgrade, where we like to bring you ideas and information to help you move from where you are to where you want to be in your personal and professional life. This is your host, Winnie, and in this week's episode, we would like to look at C, and C, we are calling it Seek Clarity. So I'll begin with a story, and this is a personal story. So earlier on in my career life, I wrestled with confusion and lack of clarity. Looking around, I thought everyone else knew what they were doing except me. I believed inside that there was a track or a path I was supposed to walk on, but I just couldn't find it. I would go in one direction, thinking that maybe this is it. I'll start a new career or a new career path, only to become disenchanted. And this happened several times. I started several businesses, I had several friends and interests, but I didn't know what was wrong. The problem I realized later on was the lack of clarity and direction. So we would like to explore what is clarity. So the question I want to ask you is, do you have a clear vision for your future self? Where do you want to go? What are you becoming? Where is this place you want to go, that you want to move urgently and seriously from where you are? Where are you going? So, what is the vision and what are you becoming? Okay, if you don't have an answer for this, fear not. You are not alone. It's actually a common problem. So what are some of the signs that shows that you lack clarity in what you're doing? Here are a few signs. What of them is that you have uncertainty, you feel confused and you doubt yourself. Another thing is you lack confidence in what you're doing, and you're doubting whether it is the right thing or the wrong thing you're doing. Another thing is you lack a sense of purpose. Another characteristic is you feel stuck. It's like you've been doing the same thing for the longest time. You can almost go to work with your eyes closed. You wake up at the same time, do the same things in the morning, take the same breakfast, take the same route to work, do the same job that you can do with your eyes closed, come home in the evening, watch TV, take dinner and sleep, and your routine remains the same. If this is what you've been doing for a long time, then probably there's a bit of lack of clarity. Another one is you lack a North Star. You're not sure where you're going. You feel that you don't have a focus, what we call a North Star. Where are you heading to? And also you get distracted and you are consumed with a lot of distraction. So those are signs, if we could call them signs and symptoms of lack of clarity. And so how do you move yourself? How do you get the clarity? And here is a story I picked from a book by a Brazilian writer called Paul Coelho, and is a famous writer. And it talks about looking outside. The story is about two firemen who went to a forest to put out a fire. Afterward, they stopped to rest. The face of one of them was smeared with soot, while the other man's face was completely spotless. Which man do you think washed his face? You'd be thinking, okay, that's a silly question because of course it's the man with a dirty face. But think again, you might be wrong. The man with the dirty face will look at the one with a clean face and assume that his face is clean. And vice versa, the man with a clean face will look at his colleague's face smeared with soot and think, I must be dirty too, I'd better wash my face. This is a parable that shows that when we look outside to get clarity for ourselves, we might get a distorted picture. And this is what Paul Coelho calls distorted mirror. What others reflect on you might not be necessarily what you want. So that means you cannot look at others for signs. You cannot look outside of you to get clarity. You need to look inside yourself to be able to gain clarity that will be able to boost you and be able to upgrade you. Every one of us is seeking a quality life, no doubt about that. All of us wants better health, more money, better relationship. But how do you move yourself? How do you make clear? And so you definitely, if you want a quality life, you need to get clear and have a clear strategy and on how to move to where you want. And you cannot and building a strategy is what we are calling getting clarity. Clarity means that you're sure of where you are going, and then you're sure of what you need to do, and start doing what you need to do to be able to move. We all seek clarity, clear answers to our questions, clear paths to follow. We want to know how do we move there. And that's why we read biographies and stories of people who are successful. We want to know what is the path. But I want to disappoint you and tell you, clarity doesn't come cheap and it doesn't come easy. And again, we've said, if you look at what other people have done, it might not work for you. You cannot force clarity. You cannot figure out. And you'd find many people sitting down, holding their hands on their chin, and they're telling you they are thinking about life. That is not figuring out. That most likely is what we call distressing yourself. And again, clarity, you cannot get it from somebody else. What has worked for somebody works for them because they are unique and they have unique circumstances to their life. And again, you cannot buy clarity. As much as you'd have the money to buy, you cannot buy clarity. So clarity stems from believing in yourself. And once you start believing in yourself, you start listening to yourself. There's a conversation that goes on deep inside of you. You talk to yourself, and you need to start listening to what is going on inside. And after listening to yourself, listening to the instinct, what are you hearing? What is your heart or your soul telling you? And then after that, you start trying out things. You gain clarity in action. You have to do things to be able to gain clarity. And once you start doing things, you have to keep on listening. So it's about listening to yourself, actioning, course correcting. You realize that this is not the way, you start again. So listen and actioning. That is how you gain clarity. And why is clarity so important to you? Clarity brings you peace of mind. And clarity attracts good things to you. Confusion repels, and we all know we would not even want to be a friend of somebody who is confused. We all like people who are focused, who are going places. Those are the kind of friends you want. So if you gain clarity for yourself, you're going to attract the right people, the right opportunities, the right environment, and the right friendship that will help you move to where you are. And clarity, somebody said, is power. When you have clarity, you get the power to move yourself. And clarity makes your goals arrive faster. Somebody actually said clarity is better than confidence. Once you gain clarity, you become it catapults you to your next level, better than even what confidence do. So how do you then gain this clarity? The first one I've already said is listen to yourself. And listening to yourself means asking yourself questions, not just listening to yourself and wondering, oh, I am not able and I will not do this, but listen and question yourself. Why am I feeling this? Why am I doing this? Why don't I like ABCD? Why do I like this? And get answers. Then listen to what you truly want. And we said layered within your feelings are the answers. So just listen to yourself. The other thing is get curious. Curiosity, they've said, killed a cat, but without curiosity, you cannot move. Get curious. What are some of these things you like? Why do you like them? Start understanding. Read. And the beauty is we live in the 21st century where knowledge is available. Knowledge now is the cheapest thing you can ever get. Knowledge is available to you at the click of a button on your phone, everywhere. It just comes streaming to you. So get curious on subjects that are of interest to you. Start learning, and that is how you start gaining clarity for where you want to go. And then, as we said earlier, once you start believing in yourself, drop the I will not, I am not, I'm not capable. Try building the I am able to, I can, I will, and start moving. And then again is write your goals. If you want to gain clarity, write them. I know I'm a writer and I write a lot, but writing is not for writers. Writing is for everyone. Every morning when you wake up, take some few minutes, and somebody advised that you should have a notepad beside your bed. Write those ideas, and especially early in the morning when you wake up, when your mind is fresh, all the ideas that keep streaming in your mind, write them. Another time is once you've showered. They say in the shower, many people get new ideas. From the shower, write those ideas before they run. And ideas they've said have shelf life. If you don't act on them, they move to the next place. So get clear by writing down, write, journal everything. If you're experiencing clarity, write down. If you can't get clarity, write down why you are not getting clarity. Sometimes when you write, it helps you move away from distraction. And then the other thing is control your media intake. We live in the 21st century and information comes streaming to you in floods, but you have to learn to control what you consume. Watching or listening to anything and everything just because it is available doesn't work well with you. You have to be biased to understand what you need to listen to and what you need to consume, because social media and information is just like consuming. It's like eating everything that comes to your plate or eating anything you find ahead of you. So control your media. Listen to things that are useful to your journey. And we said one of the ways to get clarity is control your media intake. Start paying attention to the noise that keeps seeping in through the social media or any media that is close to your heart. And then the last, of course, is action. Whatever you're curious about, start actioning it. If you need clarity, get busy. You can't move forward if you don't try new things. So get out there, do the things you've been wanting to do all this time. You do not have to dive in full at once. Start somewhere. Just take baby steps. Start by crawling if you cannot walk. Start by standing. Walk if you cannot run. And slowly by slowly, just like the marathoners we have in our country, you don't start by running a 42-kilometer marathon. You start by starting small, 5 kilometers, less than 200 meters, 500 meters, 1,000 meters, and before long you realize that you can be able to run a full marathon. So clarity is built the same way, slowly by slowly. Baby steps, and you'll gain clarity on your journey. So thank you again for listening. I'm your host, Winnie. Hope to see you next week as we explore our next subject, which is desires, honoring your desires. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.